Hi everyone, Erin Lee here of heavenlymessenger.com. Welcome to tonight's Connection with Intention. I'm so incredibly grateful that you've taken time out of your day to be here with me. It's always a pleasure for me to connect with you in this way, and I'm truly grateful that you've decided to share some time with me today. So I have lots of things to talk about. First and foremost, and I'll probably repeat this a couple of times as we go through, I've only done a couple of lives over the last month and a half or so, and I found that, as always, that I only get to a small portion of the questions, and often it's a lot of the same people that I get to. So if in the last two lives you've asked a question and you've received a reading, I'm going to skip over you for this time if you ask again, just to give everybody else an opportunity. We have people who are joining us from my Heavenly Messenger Facebook page, as well as the My Ritual Soak Facebook page, and also my Heavenly Messenger YouTube channel. If you are joining me from YouTube or my Ritual Soak Facebook page, please know that the volume of comments that I get from the Heavenly Messenger page is huge. And so I'm not ignoring you. It's just that the comments come up based on the time that they were received. And if you were like 3 minutes after about 13 different comments that were posted really quickly on the Heavenly Messenger page, that's what's happened. So please know that I'm not ignoring you, and I will get to you as soon as I possibly can. So I wanted to talk about the full moon because holy smokes, the full moon has been incredibly intense. Yesterday was the full moon, and I know I, for one, haven't really slept much the last couple of days, and the sleep that I have gotten has been really broken and with lots of different dreams and stuff too. So in the comments, if that's part of the experience that you've been having, let me know. I'd love to hear about your full moon experiences. I know that I have the no questions yet, but tell me about what's been happening for you with the full moon. So different things that you can do if you are also equally impacted by that energy of the full moon. One, be as compassionate and loving with yourself and others as you possibly can be. That can be a little bit of a challenge when you're running low on sleep. So give yourself a bit of grace. Try not to pack your day really full. And if you are struggling with sleep, do things that are really gentle at night. One thing that I'm going to be doing this evening, because I know that that has an impact, is I'm going to be changing my sheets. I do have two sets of sheets, so it's, I take one set off and I put the other on. I know that some people just work and function with a single set, so it might be a little more difficult. But the reason that I do that is because all of the energy that you're spending in dream time, in frustration, with flip-flopping back and forth, all of that is absorbed into your sheets. And so it's really nice to be able to clean things up and to have fresh sheets on the bed. And that's true of any time that you have sleep challenge and sleep difficulty. If you have a particularly challenging night with your sleep, change your sheets, wash them, clean them, put new sheets on. It does make a really big difference because that energy is just like sitting there waiting for you. Awesome. I'm just going to say quick hellos to people here. Hello, Carrie. You are so welcome. I'm so glad that the holiday blessings card arrived. It's great to see you. Hello to Cassandra and Catherine. You are so welcome. I'm so glad it arrived. Hi, Nikki. Thanks for joining us. Can you wait, please, to ask your question until I open it up to everybody? I'd love to connect with you. Hi to Sarah and to Jen and Leslie. Leslie saying, not great sleep for sure, and really emotional. Yeah, lots of stuff comes up at the full moon. And a big part of the reason that it comes up is it's a time of releasing. Whatever is no longer serving you, no longer supporting you, it comes to the surface. It comes to come out. So yeah, emotions are really high right now. One of the experiences that people can also have is if you've gone through an emotionally challenging time and you're like, I've dealt with this, I've moved on, I've moved past it, this isn't something that's really front and center for me. and then suddenly it starts coming up again, we can go into that place of fear, like, oh no, don't tell me I'm sliding back, I'm going into this again. Because what's happening is that this is another level of releasing that's coming up. And, depending on what the emotion is or the emotional experience, sometimes we can go into fear, particularly if it was a particularly challenging experience. So for me, I go to depression, and like having experienced really, really deep, uncomfortable, difficult depression, when that starts to come up and I'm not seeing a reason for it, there can be fear that comes up because I know how bad it can get and I know how difficult it is to come back up out of it. And in situations like this, when we've got stuff that's releasing, stuff that's coming up with the full moon, it can be really easy to go into that fear place. Oh no, I'm going back into that. And I know how difficult it's going to be. I know how bad it can get. And we can actually take ourselves down further just because we know those things, how bad it can get. So take a breath, recognize that this is just another aspect of the releasing process that you're going through. And again, offer yourself compassion and grace. One of the things that I've been really focusing on the last couple of days is forgiveness. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But yeah, offer yourself compassion. I'm so grateful that you shared. Leslie, thank you for sharing. It was great to hear from you. And welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Hello to Evelyn. Let me see. And Nikki saying, yeah, her son gets grumpy around the full moons too. Absolutely. Kids are not immune to this. In fact, they are so much more connected than we are that often they'll experience things even more. Chrissy, hi. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us. And hello to Pat too. Welcome. Okay, interesting. Pat saying sleeping too much and kind of sad dreams. Yeah, that's the flip side of it too. I mean, we can be incredibly tired and really want to sleep, particularly with the weather as it is and how dark it is right now too. And lots of dreams. Dreams are really common during the full moon. So I'm sending lots of love and support your way, Pat. That's tricky. Hello to Natasha. It's been a while. Thanks for joining us. And MJ, hello. It's so good to see you too. Thanks for popping on. And let me see. Cassandra, if you want to hold on to your question until we open up the floor, that would be awesome. Becky, hello, you made it. Becky is in Indonesia right now, and I'm so glad to see you because it means that you're there. And hi, Heidi, great to see you too. If you want to wait and share your question again once we open up the floor, that would be awesome. And hello to Chris, welcome. It's great to see you. And Margot, hi, I'm so glad to see you. You're on from YouTube. Let me see. And Margot saying, I've definitely have had that happen to me from not forgiving myself for past mistakes that I thought that I've forgiven and let go, but no, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that's been really big in like the self-help, the new age, this kind of realm of healing has been release what no longer serves you, what no longer supports you. And that is incredibly important. But for me, the next step of releasing is forgiving ourselves for maybe not paying attention to ourselves, for not listening to our intuition that maybe suggested that we make a change or we make a difference. Forgiving ourselves for not knowing any better. We tend to be our harshest critics, and there's a lot of poor self-talk that we can engage in. And so forgiveness is an incredibly important part of that releasing and clearing process. Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that, Margot. I'm grateful that you're here. And hello to Divya. It's so good to see you too. We're not taking questions just yet. If you want to hold on to that until I open up the floor, that would be awesome. So really quickly, I've got two quick things popping up. As a couple of people have mentioned, I've mailed out the Season's Blessings cards. In with the cards, there's a 20% off for readings booked in the months of December and January. So readings that are received during that time, and also gift certificates that are purchased during that time. If I was smart, I would have, nope, that was the wrong one. It's this one. So if you've been thinking about a reading and you think December or January might be a good time, you can hop over to bookingwitherin.com/gratitude, and you can schedule in appointments for December and January there now. In a couple of days on December 1st, I will also open up for gift certificates that can be purchased too. So that is available all through December and all through January of 2024. And one very last quick little thing I wanted to mention, I've got a couple of products up and running. The chakra clearing spray, as we talked about last week, is back for a limited time. It has 21 crystals in it, 3 for each of the 7 major chakras, made into a gemstone elixir. So when you spray it, it's like spraying liquid crystal. And it has an essential oil blend of patchouli, bergamot, ylang-ylang, eucalyptus, lavender, vetiver, and peppermint. This was one of my biggest sellers when I had my soap, bath, and beauty product business, and I've brought it back for a limited time. We also last year created the New Moon Ritual Soak collection, and with the 3 themes of releasing, forgiving, and creating, we've got rollerball sprays that are going to be listed on the website. Pardon me, rollerball oils, and also the sprays as well that go with that. So I'll have more information available about that in the next couple of days. Awesome. So before we get into your questions, I want to take a moment to do the Choose Your Adventure crystal reading. I'm just going to put that up here. So, let me see. Where is my... Oh, and it's still blocking it. There we go. So we have 3 crystals to choose from. We have Rainbow Moonstone, Jet, and Blue Labradorite. So the way that this works is if you have a question, I ask you to take a moment to think about it, to ask which crystal best represents the answer that you need. I'm not necessarily going to be reading the crystals themselves, but they are going to be connected to a card that I'm going to pull for you. So take a breath. Take a moment and think about your question or questions. You can ask multiple and choose a card, or pardon me, choose a crystal to represent the answer to your question. So I'm just going through and I'm pulling a card for each of the crystals. Right, and I'm hoping that everybody's chosen theirs. It's so funny because the first card I'm going to share with you was actually, is actually one of the cards that I pulled up just before we started today. So the first crystal was, the first crystal was the Rainbow Moonstone. So if you chose the Rainbow Moonstone card, your card is Make a Wish. This is a magical moment. Make a wish and enjoy its manifestation. And one of the things that I absolutely love about this card, first of all, this is from the Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle card deck. And if we look at the card right side up like this, we can see a young mermaid, and she's reaching out her finger and she's touching the horn of the unicorn. But if we turn the picture upside down, we see instead of a mermaid that we have a young girl, and she's reaching out to a horse. The horse, it's not a unicorn, there isn't a corn, but is a horse. And what this is saying is that what it is that we are wanting to create is right there. It's just on the flip side. And that part of what we need to do is allow ourselves to believe, allow ourselves to dream, and allow ourselves to be open. So if you've chosen the Moonstone card, the Moonstone crystal, the message that's coming up for you is to make sure that you're focusing on what it is that you want, and allow yourself to believe that you've already kind of reached it. You've already achieved it. Things are already happening, and it may just look slightly different from what it is that you had initially expected. If you chose the Jet card, the card that we have coming up for you, this is from the Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle. It's not Mermaids and Dolphins. It's the Magical Messages. Nope, Messages from Your Angels. I was going to get it right. The second time's the charm tonight, apparently. And this card is Adriana, and her message is, I am leading you toward the answer to your prayers. Please listen to and follow the steps I'm communicating through your intuitions, thoughts, and dreams. So this feels particularly relevant, as one of the things we were talking about was sleep and dreams and things coming up. if you've chosen the Jet, then the message that's coming up for you is that first of all, you are being helped and supported in this, and you're receiving messages, guidance, and information. So this is a time to pay particular attention to synchronistic events, things happening, those coincidences that may not actually be coincidences. Also, part of what I'm hearing is to look for the high road in this situation. So not to get down in like the muck and the challenge and the difficulty, but to rise up, rise above. What can you do to help bring the situation up and out of any challenge and difficulty that it's in? And sometimes there's not a lot that you can do except to choose not to engage with the challenge, choosing not to engage with the negativity and saying, you know what, I'm going to focus on a positive outcome. I'm going to focus on the things that I'm able to do. I'm not going to allow myself to get caught up in worry. I'm going to do what I can, and then I just have to let go and let the rest sort itself out as it does. So this is definitely a card, again, to let you know that you are being helped, you are being supported, but it's important for you to make sure that you are being active in as much as possible as you can in the situation for the outcome, the best outcome. And the last card, I believe, was the Blue Labradorite. This is the Archangel Oracle card deck, and the message that we have here is chakra clearing. This is Archangel Metatron, and his message is: call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes. When chakra clearing comes up, it's saying that you and the situation, the relationship, the circumstances, energy has become bogged down, and it's important to make sure that you are keeping yourself clear. So there are lots of different ways that you can help to clear your energy, making sure that you are disconnecting as much as possible from the situation. So for example, if we were talking about something that was happening at work, making sure that you leave work at work and allow yourself to be in your personal time, your personal energy while you're at home. So creating that distance and that disconnect between you and the situation that's coming up at work. You can also do energy clearing things. So having a sea salt bath is a wonderful way to clear your energy. You can do meditations. You can have intentional showers. You can intentionally rub off and wash away your energy and where you are. You can ground yourself. You can go for a walk. There are so many different things that you can do. So this card is saying that it's important to make sure that you are actively clearing your energy so that you aren't getting bogged down in whatever's going on. And, in addition to that, that things are balancing out. Just make sure that you're asking for help and support. Awesome. So I have, let me just see here. We've had a lot of, hold on. I have somebody here. Nope. We've got a spammer here. Sorry, guys. It didn't take them very long to pop on this evening. Yeah, and they've commented to everyone. So let me see. We've deleted the comments and we've blocked them, I hope. I'm just going to say hello to everybody, and then I'm going to open things up. So hello to, I hope it's Doreen. I hope I've pronounced your name properly. Welcome. And hello to Sarah. Oh, Sarah's saying that she has a chakra clearing bottle from a couple years back. It would be a couple years back. I haven't made it in a long time. That's awesome. Doreen, if you want to wait, the question it looks like that you're asking is a mediumship question, and that's not really my forte. So we can open it up and see, but if with your question you could ask something else. I don't do mediumship in the short couple minute ones. The readings I do are primarily psychic. So messages around work and finance, romance, love, life path, spirituality, angels, all of that stuff, intuition, energy healing, any of that, but not mediumship. Awesome. Okay, let me see. Oops, we've had a couple people. Hello to Carrie. It's wonderful to see you. And Elizabeth and Louise. Thanks for joining us. Okay, now you guys can ask your questions. It's fair because we are, there we go. It's fair now because everybody has an opportunity. So let's see where we are. Oh, delete comment. There we go. Okay. All right. So we've got Evelyn here. Hi, Evelyn. Thanks for joining us. So Evelyn's asked any messages from the universe for me. I'm about the next part of my journey. Okay, let's take a look and see. So first of all, it feels like you have been doing a really good job of clearing stuff out, and I'm seeing that you've been making some really significant strides forward. So I just want to take a moment to really celebrate everything that you've done that's brought you up to this point in this place, because it feels like you've been putting a lot of energy and a lot of effort in. I have something physiologically that's coming up. It feels like this is connected to like my stomach or digestive system. And I do want to check and make sure that you are doing things that are supporting your digestive health in particular. And I've got like yoga and stretching and possibly some form of massage. Now, this feels like this is something that you are focusing on for yourself, but it's also possible that this is something that you're supporting other people with. I'm kind of iffy on that because it feels like you actually have lots of different options for you, and it feels like we've got a couple of different directions that are coming up. I'm wanting to talk about like spiritual path in terms of work and career, because it feels like that's kind of popping up to the forefront for you too. And I'm being torn because on the one hand, I'm seeing something that looks like it's kind of in some form of healing realm. So again, like something maybe on a physical level or an energetic level. But then I'm also seeing something that feels like it's more like financial, or like a consultant, or something kind of along those lines in a career or in work that doesn't necessarily feel quote unquote spiritual, but it feels like because of who you are that you're able to find that spirituality in it, because you are serving and supporting others in getting what it is that they need. So it does feel like there's a lot of shift and change, but I do want to make sure that you are focusing on your own personal healing too, and just paying attention to your body structure, because it feels like there might be something that's a little bit tweaky. This doesn't feel like this is like a major thing. This really feels like this is maybe slight shifts and adjustments in terms of food. This could be a stress thing. This could be something else that's kind of going on with the digestive system. But it does feel like it's already something that you're aware of. So let's take a look. What messages are coming up for Evelyn around the next part of her journey? We're connecting with the Archangel Oracle card deck. And the card that we have here is Victory. This is Archangel Sandalphon. Excuse me. And his message is, your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. So first of all, Archangel Sandalphon is the angel who lifts our prayers up to God, source, universe, whatever your belief system is. And when his message comes through that your prayers have been heard and answered, things are happening. They're coming together. So whatever it is that you've been working on, whatever you've been focusing on, wherever you have been putting in your energy, things are starting to come together and they're starting to make sense. And there's this feeling of not having to work at it or push at it, that now you're starting to see, to feel, and to experience the flow of everything coming together. Evelyn, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you for popping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. Nikki, it's great to see you. Okay, so what do I need to work on this next month? Okay, so as soon as I ask that, I'm seeing dotting the I's and crossing the T's. So this feels to me like we've got something that is very practically based. There are things that you are wrapping up, that you're finishing. It's not time to be starting any sort of new projects, to be putting energy into new things. Now is the time to start bringing things into conclusion, or to put work into long-term projects, but in a small way. Man, you've got lots on the go. What are you focusing on? It feels like you've got a couple of things that are pretty close to being wrapped up and needing some sort of conclusion. I don't even know to describe what this feels like. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's legal, but it kind of feels like it's something that's legal. Again, it's in the realm of something being really practical, and it kind of feels like something that you're ready to have behind you. If I were to relate it to my life, I would say, well, this would be making sure that I'm on top of my bookkeeping for my business. So it feels like it could be, I mean, like I enjoy bookkeeping when I have time for it. So that's maybe not a great reference, because it feels like it's something that you've kind of been putting off to the side. So now is the time to take anything that you've put off to the side, bring it to the forefront, get it done, get it off your plate, because we've got lots of new stuff that's coming up for you as we move into 2024. In fact, I feel like we've got a fair amount of change. There's possibly a move of some sort coming up. This could have to do with your home, or this could have to do with something around your work. But there are lots of opportunities and beginnings that are coming up in the first 6 months or so of 2024. So this next month is focused on wrapping stuff up. And actually, as I say, wrapping stuff up, this could also be a purging as well, getting rid of stuff that you don't use, that you don't have purpose for anymore. I'm seeing like old plates that are coming up too. That it could be that, or that could just be representative of, hand-me-downs or things that have no purpose for you at this time. Let's take a look and see what messages are coming up for Nikki. We're going to go to the messages from your Angels Oracle card deck, and the card that we have here is Celeste, and her message is: a happy move to a new home or place of employment is in the works. This movement will usher in positive new energy. I see that as confirmation of the messages that were coming up for you for what's coming up in 2024. It does feel like there's newness. This could be like physical moves. This could be a move to a new location, or it could be that you're doing some sort of like renovation, reorganization. Somebody's moving into your home or out of your home. So it could be like change like that. Or it could also be some form of change in your work. But things feel like they are going to be moving fairly quickly within kind of that first 3 to 6 months of 2024. So anything you need to do to prepare for that is what you need to focus on for the next month. Nikki, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you for hopping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. We have Ashley. Hi, Ashley. Thanks for seeing us. Ashley says, I've been using an oracle deck at home and have had many meaningful coincidences occur, picking some cards over multiple days and weeks, and also having a card accidentally present itself before pulling and then still being picked after reshuffling. Awesome. I've been feeling the support from spirit. Oh, and I'm wondering if there's anything specific my guides propose I do or look out for to strengthen this connection. Awesome. Okay. So, well, first of all, congratulations, Ashley, with the experiences that you've been having with the cards. What I'm hearing is that part of the reason that you're getting the same card or similar cards over and over again is because there's something that you're not quite getting from the card. So I've got a lot of excitement because you're recognizing that, yes, this is a message. And that, yes, this is like confirmation, affirmation, probably to ego, because it is the same thing. And so there's something that's helping to reiterate to ego that, yes, what you are getting is right. And it feels like you can say, okay, I get it. It's kind of like when you are testing a microphone and you say, testing, 1, 2, 3. And that's kind of what Spirit's doing for you right now. It's saying, like, is this thing on? Are you hearing me? Are you getting what I'm saying? And you need to say yes, and getting it. What's next? So you've been giving me the same cards. I've been seeing the synchronicities. I know that I'm connecting, but I need the next piece. So when you see that, you can say them, guides, angels, whoever you're working with, whoever you're connecting with, say, I get it. That's awesome. I'm so excited. Thank you for letting me know that I'm on the right track. What's next? So I actually see the excitement and the celebration when we start to get new cards coming in, because it means that you've fully received the message that they were trying to share. And it's really interesting because I have clearing and cleaning messages that are coming up for you too. So I want to encourage you to go go through your things and your family things. If there's anything that isn't serving you anymore, it's time to let it go, to release it, to move it on, because it feels like there are some things that are physically holding you down, holding you back, and it's time to let them go. As we let go of the material things that aren't serving us, one, it creates room for the things that do serve us, but it also helps and supports us in clearing on an emotional level as well. Think about walking into a room that is clean and tidy and orderly and how it feels to walk into that. And then think about walking into a room that has stuff piled all over the place and that things are kind of crazy and chaotic. And you kind of get a bit of an idea of what it energetically does to us when we're holding on to stuff that no longer serves us, because it kind of literally weighs us down and becomes overwhelming. So take a look and see what's ready to be cleared out. Actually, let's just take a look. Strengthening the connection. I didn't quite answer that for you. So we're going to go to the mermaids and dolphins. What does Ashley need to know to strengthen that connection? The Blessed Change card. This is probably one of my favorite cards in this deck. When we look at this angel, she's completely topsy-turvy. She's upside down, and it kind of looks like, holy smokes, everything has gone a little bit crazy. But if we look a little bit closer at her, I don't know if my lighting here allows you to see it, but if you look a little bit closer, you'll see that actually she's smiling. She's comfortable. She's confident. And so for me, this is a reminder that when life feels big and maybe a little bit messy, a little bit overwhelming, things need to become disorganized and disorderly in order to be properly rearranged. And so what I'm hearing is to look for the peace and the calm in moments that maybe feel a little unsettling, or where you're kind of asking, like, what's going on? Because when you find that peace and calm, it becomes kind of like a thread in the fabric of life, and you're able to hold on to that peace and calm regardless of what life's throwing at you. Ashley, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. And one last thing, ask them to turn up the volume for you so that you're able to hear the messages, because it feels like clear audience, which means clear hearing is popping up for you too. Awesome. Kathy, it's so good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Let me see. So Kathy's wondering what spirit guides are wanting her to know. I'm hearing... I'm hearing for family, and I'm hearing for health and well-being. So we'll quickly ask for both of those. For family, what I'm getting is gathering, bringing people together, bringing everybody in. There's a sense of joy, a sense of celebration that's coming up. And I know that we're moving into the holiday season, so it does feel like that's something that's really important. And I'm seeing bringing everybody in. So I'm wondering if there are possibly some extended family members or friends of family that are coming in, but I'm seeing lots of celebration that's coming up that's feeling like it's really significant and really important. There's a sense of really wanting to make sure that everybody is included, that everybody's part of it. And so in addition to that, potentially reaching out to people who are maybe not like geographically close, or who may be feeling slightly alienated. I'm not sure that it's that. I think that it's more that people aren't geographically close, because I'm wanting to bring everybody together. There's this really big push and urge to bring everybody together in one place all at one time so that we can celebrate together. We can be family together. We can love together. We can laugh together. I was going to say cry together, but no, you're laughing and then laughing even more. And then I want something that's coming up for you personally. What do we have? So I've got something that's coming up on my shoulder here. This feels like this is representative of lots of things. This is my left shoulder. And I feel like there's a weight that I'm holding, that I'm carrying here. I'm wanting to talk about personal practices. So for me, personal practices are the things that we do to help keep us supported and connected and grounded and doing the things that we need to do so that we can continue to do the things we need to do. So personal practices might include like yoga or walking or stretching or journaling or meditating or, watching a silly movie with a loved one or having a conversation with a really close girlfriend. And so personal practices are coming to the forefront. And this feels like this is encouragement to make sure that you are not only doing those things now, but continuing to do at least some form of them during this gathering with bringing everybody in together. And I've got somebody holding your hand too. And somebody saying that they want you to know that you're not alone. I think that this is a deceased loved one. This woman feels really warm, really loving, really supportive. And she's showing me like being the biggest cheerleader. So she's wanting you to know that you're not alone and that you're supported. What messages do we have coming up for Kathy from the cards? We have peace. This is Archangel Shamuel, and Shamuel's message is peace comes from remembering that only love is real. So over the next little while, I mean, peace is something that is certainly part of the holiday season. It's certainly something that we need in the world right now. So, sometimes we feel overwhelmed with, there are so many things that are happening outside of me. What can I possibly do? And go into you being one drop in the ocean, but that you're a significant drop. And that when you are in a place of peace, when you see peace, when you share peace, when you share love, that's having a ripple effect out and around you. And it starts with you and it ripples out to others. And that's part of what you can do. Kathy, I'm so grateful that you popped on this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support to you and to your family. Awesome. All right, Louise, thanks for joining us. So Louise is wondering about a reading on romance. So as soon as I tap into your energy and I ask about romance, there's part of me that's tired. I feel like I've been here, I've done this, and I'm kind of tired. So if you are looking for a relationship or open to relationship, part of the message that's coming up is come to it from a place of freshness, of openness. This tiredness can be that you are working really hard to be positive, to be optimistic, and yet kind of falling into same pattern, same cycle, same over and over and over again. And that's an indication to look a little bit deeper, because there's something here that is continuing to perpetuate itself. Now, it could be something in you, or it could be something externally that you are drawing in and attracting. But I want to make sure that is addressed. Now, if you are currently in relationship, the tiredness is still there. And the message that we're going through the same thing over and over and over again feels like that's still accurate. And so if you're in partnership and relationship, part of the message that's coming up is that you are going through the same thing over and over again, and that together, the two of you can choose to work to stop those cycles. It feels like it's something that both of you would need to work on together to put energy into, because one person trying to stop a cycle, it can be really challenging if you're the only one. So making sure that your partner is on board with it as well. And, choosing from there how you're wanting to move forward. When I look at when things feel like they're opening up, when they're improving, when there is newness. So either this is a new person coming in, or this is a newness within the existing relationship. I have March of 2024 popping up really strongly for you as being a significant time for that newness to be coming in. So the experience that you're currently experiencing in your love life feels like it's improving at that time. And that's based on the things that you're doing now to support yourself. Let's take a look, Louise, and see what messages are coming up for you. I'm hearing compassion coming through really strongly, and I'm seeing patterns and cycles being broken. So 2 cards popped out for you, and it's really interesting. We have, first of all, the career transition card. This is Archangel Shamuel. Shamuel's message is your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. But Archangel Shamuel is actually one of the angels who helps and supports us in finding soulmate relationship and connection, and helps and supports us in that relationship as well. So I see the fact that Shamuel came through as being really significant in terms of love and romance for you, because it says that you are being helped and you are being supported. And it's kind of like God, Source, Universe is saying, yep, we've got it. We understand what it is you're looking for. Don't worry. We haven't forgotten about you. We're here supporting you. And then the other card that popped out for you is the Healthy Lifestyle card. This is Archangel Raphael. His message is eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep, and exercise regularly for optimal health. I mean, like, yes, absolutely, these things are important, but part of what I see this message being is making sure that you're taking time to focus on yourself and your needs. What is it that you need to keep yourself in a healthy, positive place? And also, what is it that you need in order to keep things emotionally healthy for you in relationship, whether it's an existing relationship or a relationship that is to come? Louise, it was such a pleasure connecting with you this evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. We have, oops, I've just missed it. We have Cassandra here. Hi, Cassandra. Thanks for joining us. So Cassandra's wondering anything on the direction of my career going forward. Yeah, I've got this like rubber stamp feeling that's coming up. Let me just see what the heck that's all about. It feels like we have some form of conclusions that are coming up. And I feel like this is wrapping up chapters in your work life. And it feels like in concluding this piece or concluding this part, it keeps things wide open for what is to come, for the next step, for this new thing. It can still be within what you are currently doing, or it could be opening you into something else altogether. So there is this sense of newness, there's this sense of opportunity, but in order for that to come, this other thing needs to be wrapped up. And as I talk about that, I've got a little bit of fear coming up, not around like wrapping it up and letting something go, because it feels like you're okay to do that. It feels like you're in a good spot. But it feels like there's some sort of support or crutch that might be offered, and that's part of the reason that we're kind of possibly having a hard time letting it go. I'm actually kind of wondering if this is something you've already moved on from, but that there's like a sense of something not being completely it hasn't been completely released. But also there's something that's being held on to, and this feels like this has a financial component to it. So something that you're holding on to financially. I'm being reminded of conversation that I had with my dad when I was a teenager. He had three very distinct careers in his life. And at this point, he was self-employed. And I asked him if there was anything that he missed about his other 2 careers. And he said, I missed the size of the paycheck with one, and I missed the stability of the paycheck with the other. And so for him, there weren't any regrets around being self-employed except the financial. And that's popping up for me with where you are. So take a look at belief systems that you may have around finances, around shifts and changes and opportunities, and that it is okay to move forward into this new thing that feels really exciting. We're going to go to the mermaids and dolphins, and we're just going to ask what messages are coming up for Cassandra around the direction that her career is going. I'm hearing ready, set, go. So things are taking off and you are heading in a really positive direction, just making sure that things are wrapped up from previous things. Simplify your life. Eliminate clutter from the home and work life to balance the flow of activities. So this certainly makes sense on like a a physical point of view. The more that we release, the less that we are being held back, certainly from a physical point of view. But it also feels like making sure that you aren't spreading yourself too thin initially at this point. So now is kind of more the time to specialize, and that in the future you can open to other new opportunities and new experiences as well. Cassandra, I'm so grateful that you joined us. Thank you for popping on this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. Erica, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Let me see. Erica's asking about love life. When I connect with love life, I'm hearing and feeling and seeing that there's interest and that there's desire for interest, for newness, for connection. But I feel like there's also a bit of a block that's happening in creating and or maintaining that connection. What do we have coming up? There's something that's kind of holding us where we are. I feel that there's a relationship that you're not ready to let go of. So it feels like it's a relationship that is still current. It feels like we're wanting more connection, deeper connection in the relationship that's there. Oh, and then it just kind of fizzled on me. I'm having a hard time, Erica, really pinpointing what's going on in your love life right now. Because as I said, like I feel like there's somebody there, and then I feel like there isn't somebody there. So there's like this in and out and in and out. And at the same time, I'm wanting more connection, and then I'm getting frustrated. Like I don't want connection. This isn't what I'm wanting. So, and I'm getting a little bit frustrated and a little bit angry about it. So I want to encourage you to make sure that any romantic relationships or romantic connections that are in your life right now are actually serving you, because it feels like there might be somebody who's coming in and out that's kind of acting as like a bookmark or a placeholder in your love life, and is kind of complicating things from moving forward, because I am ready for connection. That's what I feel from you, is that you're ready for connection, but there's this person who is in again, out again, in again, out again. And so if that's part of the experience that you're in, I'm kind of hearing having the conversation, excuse my language, shit or get off the pot, because you're ready. And it's a matter of staying true to that and being open to being treated well, that you deserve a partner who will meet you more than halfway, who will meet you halfway. I shouldn't say more than halfway, who will meet you where you are, and the two of you can build and work together. So I am seeing that as an opportunity. It just feels like there might need to be something that's cleared out first. Certainly this in and out pattern and behavior feels like that needs to be cleared in order for you to come to this deepening connection. Now, if there is somebody who's going in and out, I'm not saying that this isn't the right person. It's just that whatever dynamic you guys have going on isn't getting you where you want to be. Let's take a look. So what do we have coming up for Erica around love life? What does Erica need to know? I'm hearing 3, 2, 1, go. That's so interesting. We have the career transition card again, and we just had that card coming up. Again, this is Archangel Shamuel, and Shamuel is one of the angels who helps and supports us in finding that soulmate relationship, that soulmate connection. This particular card is saying your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. This too can have to do with romantic relationship and partnership. Is that there's time? It's time for change. It's time for shift. So to be open to that happening. When it comes to romance and relationship in particular, and we're doing any sort of affirmation or manifestation work, I find that it's really important, unless you have a partner who is meeting you like move for move, unless that is present in your life, when you do affirmation and manifestation, you don't name that person. So for example, maybe I've been seeing somebody for 6 months. I think things are going really, really well, but there's maybe a bit of flip-flop back and forth with the person that I'm seeing. If I'm doing affirmation and manifestation work, I'm not saying I want it to be with this person, because they aren't showing me that they're there with me. So I'm saying, hey, universe, I'm open to it being this person, but I'm also open to it being somebody else if it's bringing what I'm wanting to experience. So I'm seeing an openness coming up for you, and it feels like there is opportunity. So Erica, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad that you came on this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way, and romance angels too. Awesome. Jen, hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Jen's asking, am I on the right path with my healing journey? I'm seeing yes. It feels like there's something else that you're going to be incorporating. So what you're doing isn't wrong. In fact, it feels like it's going really, really well, but I'm seeing incorporating something else. And this feels almost like it's some form of somatic practice, because it feels like we've got stuff that is being stored physically in the body that you are working to release to move out. So whether this is something that you are doing for yourself, or if it's something that you are offering to other people to support other people, it feels like you're on the right path and on the right direction, in the right direction with what you're doing. It just feels like we're coming up to a point where you're going to be adding something else. The other thing that I'm seeing literally is it feels like clairvoyance is opening up for you too. So clairvoyance is one of the 4 primary ways that we receive intuitive messages and information. It means literally clear sight or clear seeing. And it's when you might see something in your mind's eye. You might see something kind of out to the periphery. You might see shadows, or you might see orbs, or another common manifestation of clairvoyance is seeing multiple numbers, so repeating numbers, seeing things that outside of yourself that you have no control over that have significance for you. So thinking about a loved one, and then looking out the window 5 minutes later and there's a beautiful rainbow. So paying attention to the things, to the intuitions that you are receiving that are coming through a visual, through visual messaging. It does feel like your intuition is already really open. And again, I'm going into things in the physical body. So the other aspect that feels like it's coming up for you is clairsentience, which means clear feeling. And this manifests both in terms of physical sensation in the body. So sometimes people will talk about like having goosebumps when something resonates for them, or like a gut instinct, a sickness in the stomach when something isn't right, picking up on other people's pain or discomfort. And clairsentience also manifests in emotion. So really picking up on other people's emotions, feeling things really heavily, really deeply. And again, if there's a lot that you're holding and storing in your body, it feels like part of this somatic practice is helpful in supporting you too. So yes, you're absolutely heading in the right direction. Be open to new additions coming in the next, it could be really soon. You could even be thinking about it right now, or it could be still another couple of months out. But there are some opportunities that are going to take you to a new level, which is really exciting. Okay, what message do we have coming up for Jen here? We have Archangel Ariel, and her message is courage. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. And that feels like that's huge. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of the healing that you're going through right now, is standing up for what you know to be true, what feels right and accurate for you, and also being very open to exploring new thoughts, new ideas, and to challenging maybe some of those long-standing beliefs that you have. Oh, hold on. We've got one more thing that's coming up around boundaries. So boundaries are things that we put in place to keep us safe during times when we are hurt or our capacity to deal with things is limited. over time, as we heal, as we grow, sometimes those boundaries are no longer protecting us, but they're actually harming us because they're keeping us confined because we've done healing and we don't need to protect that part of us anymore. So I'm not saying that all boundaries need to be challenged, because there are some that we put in place and they need to stay there because things just aren't changing and that's just the way that it is. But sometimes we have boundaries that, as I said, are keeping us where we are. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's also coming up on your journey as well. Jen, I'm so grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you so much for popping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Awesome. Heidi, thanks for joining us. Heidi saying, I'm going on an interview for my dream job, have very positive feelings, also have a feeling of fast energy, feel my life will completely change in 2024. My intuition is getting stronger. What's coming up for 2024? Okay, so we can look at one of those questions, and I really want to take a look at the job interview. And actually that does help to take things, it really kind of fast tracks things as well. So I see how they are all popped together. The job interview feels like it goes really, really well. I'm seeing it being something that helps to lead you to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And I'm kind of wondering if there might actually be some form of move that comes up with that for you. Home is feeling really comfortable, so I'm not 100% sure how that works or how that happens, but there's some sort of change that's coming up on a geographic level. So I don't know if you're telecommuting or commuting. I'm not exactly sure what's happening, but it does feel like there's some sort of physical move and movement that's happening that's related to and connected to the new job opportunity that's coming up. And I have lots of excitement that's coming through around that. Intuition feels like it's starting to snap along, so it is coming together. But there's something that's kind of throwing a bit of a warning out for me. What is it? Things are feeling really good. Like you're definitely getting intuitive messages, but it feels like sometimes the messages are or the interpretations are slightly off. So what I want to encourage you to do is to start recording them and then go back and see what it was, because you're really accurate in recognizing that it's a message, and like 85% of the time it feels like you're getting the intuitive message right, but it also feels like ego's kind of popping in there for 10 to 15% of it, and it feels like there's a bit of a shift and a change. This is completely normal. This happens for all of us. It certainly happened for me as well, where we're recognizing that there's a message. We recognize the majority of the message, but we're kind of getting part of it. It's just a little bit off. So what I'd encourage you to do is, as I said, write them down and then go back and see where those intuitions are lining up, because it feels like you're going to start to be able to really pinpoint where those shifts are happening, where it's just kind of a little bit of a tweak, and it's like, that fits in, that's right. And it was just something that was slightly off about the message, but you're definitely heading in a great direction, Heidi. I'm so excited for you. Awesome. So let's just see what message is coming up for you. We're with the Archangel Oracle card deck. And the card that we have here is Relationship Harmony. This is Archangel Raguel. And the message is, we angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. There's opportunity for peace. So if there are any challenges in conversation, relationship, any difficulties, and this isn't only romantic relationship, this can be family relationships, friendships, this can be in work and colleague relationships. And so this card is saying, hey, we know that there are challenges, there's difficulty. The best thing that you can do is come to the situation from a place of love. So even if we're talking about some form of work relationship, recognize that the other people who are involved are doing the best that they can with the resources that they have. And sometimes we don't all have the same resources, or we don't all have the same priorities. So coming from a place of love and peace as much as you can is really helpful and beneficial. Heidi, it was such a pleasure connecting with you. Thanks for joining us. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Leslie, hi Leslie, thanks for joining us. Let me see. Leslie saying, I'm wondering if you can give me clarity on how to choose what I am best to spend my energy on. Too many ideas, not enough time and energy. Preach. I am in the same place. I totally understand. And I feel like a ping pong ball. Absolutely. I totally get it. Okay. All right. So first of all, it feels like some of the ideas that you have, things that you're wanting to focus and concentrate on, are going to be things that you come back to. So part of the challenge in choosing where to put your energy in is kind of an underlying idea that if I put my energy into this, it means that all of these other things aren't going to be available to me in the future. And what I'm seeing for you is that that's not the case. There are a couple of things that may fall off, may fall away, but that's okay, because either somebody else is doing it or they're doing it in a different way, or it wouldn't serve your purpose in the long run, in the long term. I have something that you're creating, and I want to say that it's something that you're writing. There's something that you are birthing, that you are bringing forth. I want to say that this is a creative project, mostly because the process that I'm seeing you going through feels so creative. Like there's the idea, there's the start, and you're nurturing and nourishing it, and then it comes out on the other side, and there's something that you're able to quote unquote show for it. So, whether that's a book or it's a painting, I don't think it's that. This feels more complicated and involved than that. But it feels like it's something that you are literally bringing to life. And that's a big part of where I'm wanting to focus energy right now. I'm seeing also some form of caring for others. So I don't know if you have maybe dependents or other family members. This could also be friends, and this could also be caring for others in a non-traditional way. So it feels like a depletion, that you are giving and giving and giving, and that you come away from it feeling like there's not a lot for you that is left. And this feels like this is probably coming up in relationships that maybe don't necessarily on the surface seem like they're relationships, where energy is being drawn. And I mean this in the nicest possible way. If we look at our family relationships, often it's easy to identify and recognize, I have kids, so I've got a lot of energy that's going out to make sure that they're okay. And eventually they're going to grow up and they're going to be on their own, and that's good. Or parents, as they get older, they're in a place where they're needing care, so there's more time and energy. So those tend to be kind of easier to see. That could be what it is, but I'm kind of suspecting that this is either some form of friendship relationship or possibly like a work relationship or colleague, something like that, where there's a lot of energy, mental, emotional energy that's going out, that's kind of taking from what you have to give. And it feels like it's kind of imbalanced. So be aware of that, because I'm seeing you needing more of your own energy in order to be able to focus on this creation. Now, at the same time, I'm also seeing some form of service, I think is what I want to call it. And so it feels like there are a couple of things that you're doing, but the big thing is that I want to make sure that you've got time for this other creative thing, because that feels like that's really important. And I don't even know how to explain the importance of it, because it feels like what you start continues to ripple out far beyond the creation process and it being finished. It's something that continues to give back to you. And so it feels like it's important to make sure that you are putting that energy out there. Leslie, let's take a look and see what messages are coming up for you. What does Leslie most need to spend her time on right now? And again, I hear this 3, 2, 1. So lots of people are getting ready to take off. So we have the nurture card that's coming here, which is really interesting given the messages that we just had coming up. This is Archangel Gabriel, and Gabriel says, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. And I think that this actually just kind of addresses a point that I didn't completely get to, is making sure that you're taking time to nourish and nurture yourself. That there's a lot that's going out to support others, and I suspect probably in lots of different ways it's going out to support others. So the encouragement here is to make sure that you're taking time to support yourself in personal practices that which is anything that you know you need to do to maintain yourself, to keep yourself well. And I lost that train of thought. Personal practices, yes, make sure that you're taking care of and maintaining you. The other thing that I'm seeing, again, with all of the ideas, make sure that you're writing them down and keep them somewhere so that when you do have time or space or energy, you can go back and you can look and say, hey, is there something here that either I'm needing to bring forward to incorporate? Is there something that I could be putting my energy into now? Sometimes especially when we're in a creation process, we can put everything into building and creating, and it becomes this big thing. And then suddenly we're in a place where we're kind of left depleted. During that process, there could come a time when you need to focus on something else in order to make sure that the appropriate energy and resources are going into the project as well as going into something else too. We can invest our energy and our resources into projects the size of the project that I'm seeing. So make sure you've got a couple things on backup that you can put energy into when it's time to give this a bit of rest and space. I hope that made sense for you. It kind of came through in a bit of a jumble, Leslie, but I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. Sarah, hi Sarah, it's so good to see you. Let me see. Okay, so Sarah's saying that she keeps hearing the high-pitched noise in my ears and can't hear your guides. So actually what I want to talk about more, or pardon me, less around the messages that are coming through from your guides, but more around the high pitch. So as you already know, the high pitch is part of the way that the universe can be kind of testing the microphone, like testing, 1, 2, 3, is this thing on? And so recognizing when the high pitch happens, the things that you're thinking about, the things that you're doing, because often the high pitch will have something to do with something that you're already focused on. And it can either be encouragement to pay attention to what you're thinking about, what you're doing, because there's something in what you're thinking about that's significant and important, or it can be helping to redirect us. So maybe we're in a place of negative self-talk and the high pitch will come in, and the purpose of it at that point is to say, hey, like, wake up, notice you're not speaking kindly to yourself, slow down, stop, and make an effort to be kind to yourself. So those are some of the things that are popping up. When I ask for messages from your guides, I'm hearing things to be focused on, and it feels like we've got a creative project. And I know that Sarah is an artist because I actually have one of her paintings right here behind me. But I'm seeing something that's kind of still in creation, but feels like it's just off to the side. And I'm kind of really wanting to get my hands dirty. So I don't know if this has to do with like a new paint style, paint technique, or if this is like creating something with your hands and getting things like dirty. Because I'm wanting to really get into it. I'm wanting to put my body into it. I'm wanting to create movement. And so, yeah, because it feels like things feel like they're tight and they're seizing, and like I just have this kind of energy that's coming up. And so the encouragement that's coming forward is actually around movement, around letting things go and allowing, creativity and movement to come with that as well. This could also be encouragement to focus on dance as part of release as well. And when I say dance, I mean, like, it doesn't have to be anything special. It's just you moving to music in a way that feels good for you. And I want to encourage you to explore that space. I don't know if you've ever watched The Big Bang Theory, but it's just flashing into my head right now. Penny and Sheldon are two of the main characters. Penny is an actress, and Sheldon, I don't even know how to describe Sheldon, but he's very analytical and linear, and it doesn't necessarily catch on to nuance. And so in this particular scene, and Penny's saying, allow yourself to move and to be free. And she's, going into all these really wild kind of movements that are awesome. And Sheldon's just kind of looking at her like, what the heck is that? So I'm seeing you being a penny. Is the long and short of this story. Be a penny, Sarah. Awesome. Let's see what messages are coming up for you. What does Sarah need to know? What messages are coming through from her guide? Oops, we've got two here that are popping up. The first card that we have is the Consultant Expert card. When this card comes up, it says that we don't have all of the knowledge and the awareness that we need in order to make choices and decisions. We need some additional information and additional expertise. And the card says literally more information is needed. Contact someone with expertise in this area. Be open to getting some help and to getting some support to help to connect. And the last card that we have here is the Waves of Prosperity card. New abundance and exciting opportunities wash over you now. Abundance for so many people really indicates like money and finances and material wealth. And while that can be part of what abundance is, I see abundance as being so much bigger and broader than that. It can be abundance in health, in emotional well-being, can be abundance in people that you love and things to do and activities that you enjoy, and abundance of fresh, clean water and air. So abundance can be so many different things. So the message that kind of comes up for that with me, for you, is that there is abundance that is happening in your life. The more that you recognize where you are abundant in a positive way, the more that positive abundance will manifest for you. Sarah, I'm so incredibly grateful that you joined us this evening. Thank you for popping on. Sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way. You guys, I'm so sorry. I know that we only got to people who posted within the first 10 minutes. We've come to the end of our time. I'm so incredibly grateful that you were here and that you joined me this evening. I'm planning to be back next week on Tuesday at 7. I think it's like the 5th of December. In the meantime, if you want to connect for your own personal reading, I do have 20% off readings for the month of December and January. We're booking into next week right now. I'll pull it up. Visit bookingwitherin.com/gratitude. Also, we've got chakra clearing sprays and new moon and lots of stuff. I'll be posting that on my Facebook website in the next couple of days too. I am so grateful that you joined me. Thank you so much for hopping on. I'm sending big hugs, lots of love and support your way, and look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great